What about Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez?
I'm gonna just talk about Haney.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, if you only gonna talk, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm for this because I don't think people understand, right, how impactful being knocked out is to your mental. And I don't think people understand that. And I think Haney coming back into this fight, what it showed is he's scared to get hit. Yep. He's really scared to get hit again. And I think it's a mental thing. I think that's something that's that's one of the hardest things to break yourself out of, being scared to get hit. And you can't be scared to get hit in a sport where you get hit. So I feel like what he did, that's what I said questions was answered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just showed where he's at mentally. He's still getting up off the canvas from a year ago. Yeah. That's how I saw it. And it's like, wow. He didn't even, listen, when I watch Devin, I like Devin. That's the thing, because I know what I'm going to get from Devin. Devin don't run. Devin is going to throw a million jabs. Yep. He's not going to run. Love the jabs. He's going to throw jabs. He's going to set you up. He don't run, though. You know what I'm saying? And that fight, he ran around with an opponent. He didn't have to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that just showed me that mentally, he's scared to get hit. He's still in that same place he was. He didn't work his way. People think you go after getting knocked out, you go into training and you work on your skills, but you got to work on stuff mentally too. Mm-hmm. After that happens. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that. I don't think he really worked on that, and it showed in the ring.
Yeah, I still think he got the monkey on his back. And I worried that what happened last year, April the 20th, 2024, right, Ryan and Haney will never be the same again. I actually worry about that, man. And it sucks because Ryan actually was on steroids and everything. He really messed up both of their careers, which sucks for the sport of boxing, because we know, I kept yelling the whole night, Haney, jab, jab. We know he has the best jab in boxing. Just jab, bruh. Just get on your jab. And it's like, you're not in there, like Ramirez showed you nothing where he hit you with something and it like rocked you. It was just like you were battling yourself plus Ramirez the whole night. We seen it early because he was really jumpy early. And he finally calmed down after he got hit a couple of times. It sucks because getting to that performance for Haney, like, I don't want to see him in there with nobody. And it sucks because I knew how I looked at Haney before. So maybe I need a couple more fights, but that wasn't the Haney that we're used to.
Yeah. Yo, Goodz, how old were you when you picked up the pen?
When I picked up the pen? Oh, man. 9.
When you decided to start doing this, was battling the first thing that was it just, I'm writing and I want to be a rapper?
It was just being influenced by, I lived in like a big building. The building I lived in was so big. It had like 2 different sides. And I used to, come from school and walk by, like staircase A, and like all the older dudes used to be in there just rapping. So I used to always hear it walking by. So in my head, it was like, man, one day I'm a write son. I'm a go on that staircase and I'm a rap in front of these, all the, the 20 dudes that's in there, the older dudes I know that's in this staircase. So it started like that. And then I started, writing a little stuff down, writing. Then I started getting better at it.
Did you ever get into the staircase?
Yeah. So what happened was, let's say I probably was like 12, 13. And I say 13. And somebody told one of the dudes, one of the older dudes, these are all my friends though, but they were just older than me. Yeah. Somebody told him, they told my rhyme. And they was like, he rap, because I'm young. And they're like, yeah. So my man Straw knocked on my door. I opened the door and he like, somebody told me you rap. Let me hear you rap. You know what I'm saying? I just rap right there. And by that time I was good. But only I knew I was good. Yeah. So, or let me not even say I knew I was good. I knew I was good from what he told me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So he like, yo, you nice. He like, yo, I'm gonna bring you on a staircase one day when we all in there. So I'm gonna knock on the door. Just when I knock on the door, just be ready. And let's say maybe like a couple of days after that, they was on the staircase. He knocked on the door. You brought me in there. It's like the staircase ain't big. It's a little staircase, but it's 20 people in here.
Did you ever have a moment where
and he like, yo, just rap, go, and I rap, and they liked it, and then from there they actually put me down with them.
Yeah,
and then I just was going from there. Yeah.
Have you had that experience of being knocked down and having to kind of recuperate, get yourself back up, get back together?
Yeah. So not my last battle, the one I had before that one. I'm always like a favorite when I come out, you know? But like in boxing, battle rap. The era in battle rap changes. You get new fans, you get new people, you get a new dude that's the hot dude at the time. And I'm always known for coming out, not retirement, but I might not battle for a year, two. I might do 1 or 2 battles every 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm known for coming out taking the top dude at the time.
Yeah.
So I come out, take the top dude at the time, and normally when I go in the building, we battle in front of 2,000 people. It's on the stage. It's crazy. So I get on stage.
Right.
I could tell that these people are here to see him. They're not here to see me. Normally when I walk in that building, they're here to see me. But this time they're here to see him. So, it wasn't really I put in a good performance. He went crazy. We put in a good performance. But after the battle, because he's the new hot dude, he had so much fans, there was people saying he won. More people saying I won. But this is how battle rap goes. So from then I felt like, you know what? I got something to prove. You get what I'm saying? Because that never happened before. And that's a good thing you need. Like, even when you're fighting, like, you need to get hit. Sometimes you need to get knocked down. You need to see what it feels like to get hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was me getting hit. And I came back, my next battle went crazy, and, everybody was there to see me and all other stuff like that. So
I'm going to respond to that real quick, and then I'm going to ask this question. We got a question from the fans. But to the point right there, and you're called Goodz the Animal. Mm-hmm. In the fight game, there's different animals, you know what I mean? There's different breeds of that dog, you know what I mean? I was that dog that if I got knocked down, I had to get up and I had to come back at you. If I lost a fight, I had to come back and I had to get back at you. Just quick story real quick. When I took my first draw, I'm all alone. I'm like lightweight depressed and all this other stuff. I got a lot going on in my life and stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, nah, that's the last thing they remember about me. Mm-hmm. That ain't the last thing you gonna remember about me. That's how I got my.
That bad?
Huh?
It's taking a draw that bad for a fighter. It's like being in a draw.
I was young,
undefeated. I was supposed to have been the one.
I was
ran into an old veteran. That's what happened.
In real talk.
Yeah, I know what happened. I know what happened.
The fact that he just was strong and I ran up against an animal that I hadn't really experienced before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it messed with me. And then I scratched my head. I was like, no. I said, not me. Not me. You got to really be ready to answer that, right? So I feel like we're finding out what kind of animal Devin Haney is, or we're finding out what kind of team, what pack he's in, you know? Because we also know this. That was game plan. Devin didn't come out and do that for 12 rounds because that's what
you think so?
100% game plan.
To move?
I think the game plan was to move. They knew Jose was going to do this. He did the same thing for 12 rounds.
I believe that too. I believe that was a game plan. That was the game plan too.
He did the same thing for 12 rounds. I'm sorry. To me, that's been the most unattractive thing of the weekend. Fighters doing the same thing round after round. Mm-hmm. For the ones that's and it's working, cool, but you got to do more. And for the ones when it ain't working, how do you not know how to make a small adjustment or an adjustment at all? And I mean across the board. I know we got to get the Canelo and we got to get. We might get the Bacoli and then we might. But everybody, that's the
even Canelo.
The common denominator through the whole weekend was everybody did the same thing round after round. To me, that's the most unattractive thing in boxing is when a fight looks the same. And Zittel know that about me. If it's looking the same after 3 rounds, I'ma just turn it off.